What's going on, everybody? Eric Lindquist at Stokastic here on the Odd Shopper channel, coming to you with another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. Hit that like button, subscribe button, notification bell. Goes a long way for me on this video. Goes a long way for you. That way you become a prize whenever great content is going live here at our little neck of the YouTube woods. 16 games. So we go 15, 15, 16 to start off this week on top of NBA. Lindy's on top of everything. Manage the bankroll. MLB, beginning of the season. I've been saying it since day one. We want to be betting very light as we're accumulating sample sizes. You might be aware, I'm 2-4 on locks on the season. That is not very good. Much worse even than last year, which I did not have a good April last year either, before turning on the afterburners in May, June. Had kind of a wonky beginning of July, and then we just took off sailing into the deep blue sea. It's blue behind me. That's beautiful. Anyway, so manage the bankroll. Be smart about that. And obviously, if you're in the premium Discord, there's more expected of me. That is for sure, because, well, we're getting updated plays. We're posting plays throughout the day, getting pick'em cards out for the people, doing as much as I possibly can to help you, listener, make some money. So you can sign up for that down below. Again, $12 for your first week using promo code Lindy. That's a great opportunity. It's normally $15 a week. It's cheaper than our original just to be in the Discord when it was $20 just for the Discord. Again, you're getting all the tools, content, everything at Odd Shopper for a low price now per week. And then monthly, going to be even cheaper for you, $42 for your first month if you want to use promo code Lindy for that. But anywho, we got some basketball to go watch. I really want to go watch this Golden State Sacramento game. That's for sure. Producer Jacob, I'm sure, does too, even though he's a Celtics fan. He's living the high life right now. Minus 190 to win the Eastern Conference Finals. I just got to repeat that because it's so wild. But we have 16 games. No time to dilly-dally here in the MLB streets. We are up 1-0 here. Top of the fifth still here for Atlanta. So we are going to be sweating that one here. Hunter Brown got out a couple of jams, 2 caught stealings. That's kind of been unenjoyable to watch here from Atlanta, but still up. Let's cash one of those locks, get back closer to the 500 number. Again, we're going to be well over the 500 number come the end of this season. We have, 150 days to go here. I'm not panicking. I hope you're not either. Just manage the bankroll. There are 0 locks on this card here today in the MLB streets. But anywho, producer Jacob, he's a lock to be the best producer in the game. Some people don't believe he exists. One day he'll show back up here. Today is not that day. Let's get to the picks. Our day begins nice and early. Again, Wednesday. We have a lot of morning-ish, afternoon-ish baseball, depending where you live. It's all afternoon and evening if you live on the East Coast, but starts at 12:10 Eastern time, 9:10 a.m. Look at me doing math. I can subtract 3. Good job. Keaton Wynn, he can count to a lot in terms of hard hit that he is giving up here on the season. 47.7% here for the San Francisco guy, but he does have a .236 expected batting average with no Jake Burger out there, and then an opportunity to get after a Marlins lineup that so far, not good. Not good at all. Don't think that's going to surprise anybody. I don't think that's one of the priors that I was waiting to figure out coming into this season, although a lot of people thought you might be running into a better version of this Miami squad. We're going to attack him a little bit here. Trevor Rogers. This used to be an arm that had a lot of K upside. 19.4% K rate thus far this season. But the concerning thing is it's kind of the matching walk rate that we have on the other side of this with Keaton Wynn. 11.1% walk rate here for Trevor Rogers. 4.05 expected ERA. And the southpaw, well, there are some absolute lefty killers that exist in this lineup here in its current iteration. Can you think of one? I could think of one. He won a World Series MVP. That would be Mr. Jorge Soler. So long, baseball. Going to pay attention to that one. But I don't really have a whole lot of interest in betting this game, considering Wynn's number. And then also, it's pretty efficient. Minus 118, minus 125. I bet money comes in on the San Francisco side, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you missed a good opportunity. It means you went from something that was perfectly efficient to just a little less efficient, unless it moves out to minus 135, minus 140, in which case we'll probably be kicking ourselves because we could have got some value here with the Giants then. But as it stands, not going to bet it. Think you can take the morning a little bit light unless you really want to capitalize on Jorge Soler or the San Francisco money line. Going to call both of those leans. Again, sometimes it's not always what's in the graphic. It's what I say. I think that's why you tune in. I don't think that's why some of you tune in. Next game. Next on our boarding walk. Oh, man. My Minnesota Twins just getting completely lit up. You guys remember Three Ninjas? Did you ever see that movie back in the day? So I'm the middle of 3 boys. I've got an older brother. I've got a younger brother. And so it was Rocky, Colt, Tum Tum. I was always Colt. So I was the athlete, obviously. It is what it is. Let's light these fat boys up. And that's basically the Baltimore Orioles doing the practice on the dummy with the red lights and the whole thing. Holy shit, we're bad. But can we be good just for one day? We have our ace on the mound here, the only guy I trust in our entire starting rotation, Pablo Lopez. And it hasn't been perfect, 42.9% hard hit percentage with a 14.6 degree launch angle. And some of these lefties, Gunnar Henderson, Ryan O'Hearn. I mean, yeah, the Cowser guy, I know that he's starting to get a lot of off-speed stuff thrown at him. Again, I'm watching, I'm paying attention. He can hit fastballs. He can hit even like curveballs, but changeups, sliders, not hitting them very well here at the moment. And so the scouting report is out on him. He needs to start adjusting. So we'll be pretty careful going forward. I know I had him as a lean the other day. Didn't end up firing it up. But either way, that's neither here nor there. We do have the best pitcher here for the Twins going. And we're kind of going through a couple of different pieces of who it could be. Right now, they've got Wells listed just about everywhere. So Tyler Wells, assuming that he's the guy that gets the start and ends up being the one tagged for it, I really like our opportunity here to get after it and get down with our bad selves. So friends, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but Minnesota money line is going to be alike. I know that they're going to get swept now and it's a whole thing, but you know what? Pablo Lopez, faux kids, and I got to take all of that money to show it. I don't know why I do swear a lot. I don't know why I was censoring myself. Next game again. METS, Mets, hosting the Pirates here in this one. And it's no falter of your own that you're Bailey Falter. I'm really not funny. I'm also losing money, so it's whatever. Bailey Falter, 34.7% hard hit percentage has been good. 10.2% K rate is bad. He's somewhere in the middle on both of those. Again, the K rate, 17.3% back in 2023, but a 4.93 expected ERA. He's had better results than that, even though the striking it's not there, 4.28 expected ERA, but overall, not going to be dabbling with him, that's for sure. Not going to be dabbling with Luis Severino here in this spot either. This Pirates lineup definitely getting after some righties at times. Again, you got O'Neal Cruz. That generally is going to help the cause a little bit. They've been playing winning baseball, rated around 100 WRC plus against right-handed pitching. That bodes well here, so we're going to stay away from that side of it. But I do think there's one guy to pay attention to because I think positive regression is due for him a little bit. He still has 6 home runs on the season despite these numbers, which is wild. But 32.6% hard hit percentage isn't going to last long for one Pete Alonso, friends. He's striking out 22.5%. Again, it's been basically the same number throughout his entire MLB career, I believe averaging right around 22.2% for his entire career. But he's averaged a 43.3% hard hit percentage. And that, friends, is much higher for an MLB player here than the 32.6% that he currently has. So I got to feel pretty confident about Pete Alonso turning on the afterburners against lefties. That has kind of been his forte. I think this is a decent spot to potentially take that shot. So Pete Alonso, 2 home run lean. Let's talk hot shot. Friends, the OS Premium Tools tomorrow, a day like tomorrow, we're going to have baseball throughout the day. And if you want to get the best bet for the next game that shows up or the next game that shows up, you know, assuming you maybe slept in or, hey, maybe you're at work during the day, you want to be firing up some baseball bets in the evening. Doesn't matter what time of day you pull up the OS Premium Tools, the Positive EV tool, the Fantasy Optimizer, it is all there to help you make some money. And it's $14.95 weekly. That's $12, though, if you use promo code Lindy. And yes, you're also going to get Discord insider access. Again, it used to be $20 per week. I thought that was a little egregious. And so therefore we brought it down to $15, and you get all the tools and the stuff that I'm using on a day-to-day basis to help make you some money in the MLB streets. Again, friends, this thing is going to start churning out dollars in the MLB streets very, very shortly. So you want to be there. You want to be hanging out. And then if you have any questions in that Discord, I can answer it. You'll get my premium card every single Monday through Friday. Great opportunity to make some money, honey. 20% off, promo code Lindy, all in one package. Back to the picks we go. Starting to lose my voice a little bit. I guess I'll just temper it down here and talk a little bit faster. San Diego, well, we have one pitcher, Michael King. If you know from back in the day, which was 2023, that was last year, Michael King got converted from a bullpen arm to starter for the Yankees. It went pretty damn well. It's not going as well here at the moment. We're talking 16.9 degree average launch angle, 389 xWOBA, 539 expected slugging, 14.8% walk rate. Now, that is a little bit of an outlier and not something I expect to exist for him going forward. That's for sure. But we got to look at things a little bit differently, because one of the things I like to do early in the season is see who pitchers have faced. Who has your opposition been early? And can we make any inferences as they go to other places? Well, let me just tell you, he has faced thus far this season the Dodgers, the Giants again, and the Dodgers again. That's not exactly ideal, friends. 2 times against 2 pretty formidable lineups in the division here. I don't care what ballpark it was at. I don't care what was going on there specifically, because again, so many different factors, and everything's going to get averaged by some people over together at the end of the season. For me, I will sort by temperature as we go on later into the summer months. You can do that on Fangraphs, barometric pressure. You can do that on Fangraphs as well. It's beautiful times. We're going to get very, very granular and specific as we accumulate sample size here for guys. But Michael King, jury's still out on him a little bit. I will say it's freaky to see the Milwaukee Brewers, and I have no idea who they're going to throw out there. Milwaukee, they're in shambles in a lot of ways. Christian Yelich just on the IL as well. That's not ideal. But the Milwaukee Brewers have been awesome against right-handed pitching so far this season. 130, it's wild to see. 136 WRC plus in 543 plate attempts. That is the second best mark in baseball, in between Atlanta and Houston. Didn't see that one coming, but I got to say, regressions do when you lose a bat who was performing the way Christian Yelich was at the beginning of the season. That's going to hurt. That there is a spicy meatball. But San Diego money line will still be the lean here, purely because King, I do think there's more upside to this arm, and a really difficult beginning of this season. Got to see the odds. I assume that they're going to be dogs just about. We'll see. It's going to be a tough one. It's a tough one to handicap. So San Diego money line, assuming that it is plus money. Just a recap for the people. How do we go about things with the lean like lock? Why did I come up with that? Why is that the name of this? Well, leans, there are things I'm thinking about betting, or what I'm doing is I'm using historical data. Like we're talking the last couple of prop lines for a specific pitcher, looking at their recent results, comparing them to their long-term results, which matter a lot more to me in a sport like baseball, or something that isn't like minutes-based like the NBA. And then I'm making informed decisions or talking you through the process of a bet so you can be informed as a bettor yourself, because I can't be there to hold your hand all the time. Premium Discord, I can help you. I can hold your hand a lot, that's for sure. But in spots like this, I know I'm going to have interest in something, or I more than likely know I'm going to have interest in something if the number and the price is right. Because the price, that at the end of the day, friends, along with the probability of something happening, that is the combination that we're looking for every single time. Been saying it for years. I will keep saying it. The price is king. But we got to pay some close attention to this one. Not with Dane Dunning, of course, but the other guy, Tariq Skubal. I want to tell you that just because I'm interested in shorting a guy's strikeouts doesn't mean that I think that they aren't going to be successful in a specific spot. And I think this is kind of the king of that. We're talking about a Texas Rangers lineup. I'd say they've underperformed so far this season. I think a lot of you might agree with me there. But 100 WRC plus, not where you want to be against lefty pitching when you have as many good righties. You have the Adolis Garcia and Marcus Semien. Corey Seager left on left shouldn't be a big deal either. But yeah, so far 100 WRC plus with them, 22.1% K rate. The K rate's low enough, and I think this Rangers lineup is going to avoid strikeouts enough where I don't want to go out of my way to pick on Skubal, but I think this number might be a little bit extreme. I think we're going to look at this opening around 6.5, 7.5. So in the event that it is a standard minus 110, I like the under of 7Ks, but I also want to let you know that the under of 2.5 runs for a guy with his metrics up against this Rangers offense that still isn't motoring yet, I'm pretty interested in. He has a 22% hard hit percentage against him, does Skubal, a 200 xWOBA. Yes, that 30.8% K rate, 2.4% barrel percentage. So I think he has a successful outing, but I also think that the under of 7Ks might be something that I'm interested in. So want to be throwing both of those out there. I think 6.5 might end up being the number that we end up having shown up here. But again, Skubal has been that good so far this season. I'm going to be paying very close attention. Again, these are prospective numbers. These are things that I'm projecting out to be. If you see 1.5 and 6.5, going to be more of a stay away for me, assuming the minus 110. But process over everything, especially early in this MLB season. I promise the results will follow. Max Fried, oh yeah, Max Fried. This is a southpaw that coming off a pretty decent season here, going up against JP France, who didn't Well, didn't think he'd ever have a 25% hard hit percentage. But yeah, just continuing to be his normal self. We'll say Max Fried, weird to see the strikeout rate, 17.9% so far this season. Precipitous drop from 25.7%. Last year, 2.73 expected ERA. This year so far, in a couple of starts, 4.37 expected ERA. That's not exactly what we're looking for here. And very tough matchup, obviously running it up against this Houston team yet again, which, by the way, should we check in on my lock here? Carry the one. Let's find out here. We got time for this. Atlanta's still up 1-0. Bottom of the sixth, one out. Nobody on. Come on. I'll take 1-0. I'll take anything at this point in time. But anyway, Max Fried, friends, this is somebody that we got to expect positive regression for. And I do expect negative regression on this hard hit for one JP France. So far, so good for him. Yay. Congratulations. But a fly ball pitcher against the top of this Atlanta lineup, never a great equation. Plus, a 4.99 expected ERA so far, pretty much in line with where he was at last season. Again, the hard hit, he's been avoiding it, and yet he continues to be pretty awful. 2.28 whip in the month of April thus far. 0-2. 0-2 in that. Is that correct? That is actually correct. Wow. That makes no sense. That's pretty terrible. Yeah. Yeah, that's not what you're looking for, friends. Okay, well, luckily enough, I'm a sick person. And math wins over everything here because the back half of this Atlanta lineup, 6 through 9, is not what it once used to be here. You've got some injuries that exist and, well, some guys who have bid farewell, so long, farewell, of years and good night. And then the Houston side of this one, well, JP France, friends, I think we're going to see him continue to at least keep things in check here for the near future. It's a gross one, friends, but 9, a pretty big number to be staring at here. I think the under is in play for us here. So this is just truly math-based more than anything. I think Max Fried is going to pitch much better going forward in terms of expected ERA. And I think JP France, not that he's improved by any means, but again, 6 through 9, Atlanta putting out Luis Guillorme on a day-to-day basis. Ozzie Albies now on the 10-day IL with the broken toe. These are not good things at the moment. I think we want to take advantage. Quick little doubleheader, and I'm going to cover these actually pretty quickly because these are prospective pitching matchups. Nothing's official here yet, but in game one, you're looking at Mr. Brady Singer versus Jonathan Cannon. We broke that one down yesterday. It got rained out on Tuesday. I think leading into this, just to double check my work and make sure that I'm not a crazy person, I was leaning Kansas City, and I continue to lead Kansas City because Brady Singer much better, 30.4% hard hit percentage, 280 xWOBA. And this Jonathan Cannon fellow, yes, he is tall. Yes, Chicago is trying out anybody and everybody to try to create value for themselves because right now, just there's none to be found with anybody. It is truly brutal. But with the Charlotte Knights so far, 2 starts, 1.55 whip, does have the 11 strikeouts with it in 9 2/3. But yeah, I'm getting hit a little bit. That is tough against the Kansas City lineup. Definitely like the top of it. I feel like the top of a lot of MLB lineups, except for like Oakland and things of that nature. But game 2, you're looking at Waka and Fetty. And I'm just going to give you both of them right to get-go. Kansas City money line. Kansas City minus 1.5. Going to be the lean and the lane that I'm looking at from both of these. I want to see lineups. I want to try to make assumptions. Again, the game 2, you can really take advantage of, oh, who's going to sit game 2 there? Who's catching here? Who's catching there? I will say with Sal Perez out, which it sounds like he will be again tomorrow, potentially avoiding the IL. We'll see. But you might be looking at a little bit of Furman in your life, if you will. Don't even know who they would have as a backup catcher at the moment. Probably Furman for both. That's pretty brutal downgrade. But still, Kansas City want to see these lineups before making any decisions and want the official pitching matchups. We all know Fetty, not exactly ideal either. We avoid the lean stuff for one spot here. The Yankees, the Blue Jays, been playing some weird games, that's for sure. The Blue Jays been getting the better of them the last 2, much to my chagrin. That was the correct word usage there. That is for sure. But yeah, we've got an interesting pitching matchup as Marcus Stroman's been pitching really, really well. And Kevin Gausman, one of the best pitches in baseball over the last however many seasons, the splitter. And everybody's trying to throw a splitter because you have Yoshi coming in. You've got Shohei Ohtani when healthy. But this splitter apparently is just ripping elbows up across the nation. So maybe pay attention to that one. But Marcus Stroman, friends, kind of surprising results from him so far. Sub 30% hard hit, 350 X slugging, and 24.6% K rate. We'll say we still like Marcus Stroman. Got ourselves a little bit of a lock done, that's for sure. But 3.67 expected ERA, much better than 4.27 he had last season. But sinker, slider, cutter, everything looks like it's in its right place. I think this is one that you can just say Marcus Stroman, who's always been just a good pitcher, never a great strikeout upside guy, might just have it early on in the season. Can't say the damn same thing about Kevin Gausman. My lord, friends, 10.11 expected ERA is like near dead last in my model at the moment. 577 xwOBA, nearly dead last. 463 xwOBA, nearly dead last. Pretty much nearly dead last in every category across the board. He's had 3 starts. He has yet to reach the 5th inning. He continues to get hit up by teams. Tampa Bay, New York, even the freaking Rockies came into Toronto and got down with their bad selves and made it a problem for him. So I think you want to get a little aggressive here. Now, it's only a 65-cent disparity, which I was kind of hoping for a little bit more, if I'm going to be honest. But this is more of just, if we look back a month or two from now and Kevin Gausman continues to hit this regression bug, this is going to look like silly odds against a pitcher who continues to be on the, not the up and up, because I do think we know who he is, but Marcus Stroman, pretty consistent as it is, been pitching really, really well. So that's the kind of shots that you want to be looking at the run line. Again, it's not like the books don't know this. This has been priced accordingly, but I don't really care. I will just say, give me the Yankees -1.5. I don't really care about the money line here in this spot in the event that Kevin Gausman isn't long for this one. Toronto does have a good enough lineup. Yankees decent enough bullpen that can help you out. But either way, want to get aggressive, be aggressive. Stroman, continue doing what you're doing, and Gausman, continue doing what you're doing. And this one will cash easy. So half unit here, just on the presumptive play that Gausman sucks now. For what it's worth, I don't think Gausman sucks now. It's more of just has not been good so far, and we want to invest there. The Dodgers. We don't have any idea who's going to be on the bump for him, but I have to point out that it is going to be 80+ degrees, and we are looking at an afternoon game in a couple of these spots. So the weather model, doing things, sputtering it out, pasting, good stuff. It's going to be a little bit different playing baseball here in this atmosphere. Curious who they are going to throw out there. Again, the Dodgers. Just another one of those teams that are short on arms as guys are hurt and guys are trying to rehabilitate. And, we're still waiting on Walker Buehler and Clayton Kershaw. And they're just, it's long for it. Oh, top of the 7th, Atlanta 1-0 leadoff double. Let's go. Let's go. Well, Jake Irvin, he gets the pleasure of 74-degree first pitch. And again, upwards of 78 degrees, 80 degrees here for first pitch. 12:10 p.m. start time on the Pacific Coast. Going up against Jake Irvin at a righty that is not very good at baseballs or the throwing of baseballs. Who's really good at hitting righties and lefties too, for whatever it's worth. Shohei Ohtani. We're getting some of the best hitting weather in LA that we've seen so far this season. And I know. Shohei Ohtani is about to come to life. It's like Evanescence. Wake me up inside. No, it's not like Evanescence because it's catchy. Shohei Ohtani likes to gamble. You want to gamble with him? Let's do it. Shohei Ohtani, friends, to homer and potentially to 2+ homer. We're talking about a dude who won the MVP last year, 7-1 expected slugging, 58.1% hard hit percentage, 16.2-degree average launch angle. It is just a matter of time, friends, before he goes on one of those patented Shohei Ohtani streaks. Is coming. I feel it coming, babe. St. Louis and Oakland, hey, we have some pitching lines here, and that's useful because I was very interested in them from the get-go. Steven Matt's on the bump here for St. Louis and getting a little bit of love here. We'll get to that one in a second. First, Paul Blackburn, been pitching pretty well, 267 xWOBA, 28.1% hard hit, but a 15.5% K rate. That isn't what you're looking for coming off of last year's 22.4%. Thought we would see like the 4.42 expected ERA. Again, the strikeouts have been down, but the expected ERA has been down too. So that's useful. That's kind of the goal, is not to give up runs. And, I don't think GMs really care. It would seem like GMs care a lot about stuff, but the Paul Blackburn changeup cutter, those are kind of his primary pitches right now. And he's doing just enough to saw off batters. 282 expected batting average will bite him eventually. 302 expected batting average will bite him eventually. But one of them's been straight in the dirt, that changeup. We'll see. I think he's going to be okay here as a starter. Hey, maybe a little bit of trade bait, if you will. But Steven Matz is the guy I want to highlight here. Just a 12.9% K rate in the southpaw going up against Oakland. And Oakland, highest K rate against lefties so far this season. Yeah, they've been facing some different lefties than I think we're going to see in Steven Matz. Again, Steven Matz, not known for his strikeout stuff. 21.8% last season, did have 26.1% once upon a time in 2022, which feels like forever ago, but not a great start for him here. I think 5.5 strikeouts. We're looking at minus 130, minus 140 pretty much everywhere at the moment. FanDuel had the opening number at minus 140 for what it's worth, but 5.5 Ks. I like the under of it here in an afternoon game in Oakland. Let's party. Let's also party with BetMGM, my friends. First bet safety net up to $1,500 in bonus bets. You sign up down below, you fire it up, you get yourself some goods over at BetMGM. Again, whether it's $20, $50, $100, $150, you have an opportunity to get a lot of money back in your pocket on a first bet. So fire up something with a big plus money attached to it. Again, that's the smart way to go about these things because it increases your expected value. Good talk, glad that we had it. But up to $1,500 you could fire up and know that is coming back to you in bonus bets and ammunition at BetMGM if it doesn't hit. So great opportunity. Take advantage of it at the link below with BetMGM. If you have DraftKings, you have FanDuel. This one, friends, great complimentary piece, plus 25% home run boost there on Tuesday. That was awfully nice of them. Not quite the dinger Tuesday that we get on FanDuel, but BetMGM, good stuff, friends. Only if you're 21 and over. If you have a gambling problem, please call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Back to the picks we go. Hey, Chicago, what do you say? Cubs are gonna play baseball today and hopefully not win, or just hopefully they don't beat up the guy that I really want to bet a strikeout prop on. So Steven Matz took an under. We're looking at an over here potentially on Brandon Pfaadt. He actually has a pretty interesting profile here at the moment, but we'll get to that here in 1 second. Jordan Wicks is the guy, Mr. Weeks. I love saying that. And again, the guy died. It's so sad. 29.2% K rate so far. Really, really nifty stuff. He's got a difficult ask here, that is. Lefty going up against some of the righties. He did make us some money. He's got a positive green number next to him, which for me means that they're like in my good graces at the moment, or I'm at least reading them semi-correctly. And that is for and against. So for whatever it's worth, you don't care, but I do. 4.55 expected ERA so far this season, a little bit higher than 4.07. Yeah, you got some righties that you do have to get by here in this lineup, no doubt about it. But overall, neutralize a couple of the lefties, probably get Jock Peterson out of that lineup more than likely. Get by Grichuk, get by Suarez, get by Ketel Marte, switch hitter, get by Walker, get by Lourdes Gurriel, mashing baseballs for what it's worth. But not really all that interested at these prices because, again, minus 118, I would be looking probably at my Brandon Pfaadt character over here. Interesting profile here's kind of why. 28.8% hard hit percentage this season would be drastically different than his major problem that he had last year. 44% hard hit. We saw him come alive a little bit during the postseason. Had that 4.48 expected ERA. Much was expected out of him coming from Reno over. Again, Reno, like notoriously hard. The Pacific Coast League, bring it up lots throughout the entire year. But when we start citing AAA numbers, it's so hard to know some batters coming out of the PCL if they're good or not. If somebody is having success as a pitcher in the PCL, generally a really, really good sign for them stepping it up at the big league level. But he got sent down, got sent back up, and found a little bit of form at the end of last season. Still a little bit suspicious of the 28.8% hard hit percentage because we have had 4 barrels and the max exit velocity is actually higher than it was last season. What does that mean? It means when he gets hit, he should be getting hit really, really hard in the near future. So I'm going to just tread lightly there. But there's no doubt the strikeout stuff is back. 23% K rate. I expect this to go up. At AAA, we saw him north of this number for sure. Now, he's a fly ball pitcher. There are going to be times that he does give it up. Just talked about that. But I think we got to very much be on the side of Mr. Brandon Pfaadt. Has this kind of velocity, has this kind of ability to get after batters. And the Cubs, without Suzuki, it is a downgrade to this lineup. Now, Chicago, middle of the road, 22.3% K rate against righties. But if I get 5.5 or 6.5 even potentially here, Brandon Pfaadt is going to be on the card. So keep that one in your back pocket. Afternoon game, I think they'll keep the roof closed. That'll be the other thing to pay attention to here with it not being an evening game in Arizona. Afternoons there, a little bit toasty, friends, as somebody who spends a lot of time in Scottsdale. Andrew Abbott, Mr. Bryce Miller coming up next here on our boarding walk. And Pitchers Park, we know that. Big time Pitchers Park. We've seen some runs here in recent games between these two. Well, actually, I don't know yet because that game just started here. But Andrew Abbott, Bryce Miller, both pretty decent enough profiles for me. And I think we want to be kind of contemplating an under, and here's why. Andrew Abbott, 26.4% hard hit. I get a little bit worried with a 15.9% K rate, mainly because you can't take advantage of the one thing that you can guarantee you can do as a pitcher up against this Seattle lineup, and that's generate strikeouts. Now, lefties haven't been generating as many strikeouts against them with their current iteration, 22.7% K rate, but Andrew Abbott generally is going to bring more K stuff than what he's shown thus far this season. As for Bryce Miller, the four-seamer slider split, the 10.2% barrel percentage, again, one good, one bad. Pretty good numbers, though, across the board, 23.6% K rate. For me, it just comes down to the under here. It's a little bit dicey with lineups that you do expect to be above 100 WRC lineups. Has an afternoon flavor to it. Not quite as nice as playing in the evening. Yeah, I'm going to have to think about this one, but this is on the outside looking in for me. Remember when we had like a 65-cent disparity leaning, liking that New York Yankees spot, -1.5? Kind of the inverse here on the plus side of things. Now, we have plus 180 written on the side of the screen with 218 here. But let me tell you, there's a plus 190, and then there is a minus 106. So we are talking like the disparity in the marketplace. Because again, if you have multiple books, you're shopping for the best odds, and everything is at your disposal. Like you can truly have exposure to anything that you want. And when you start seeing gaps like nearly 90 something cents, that's wild. That's a wild deal, especially with an 8.5 total. But that tells you how bad this Rockies lineup has been so far this season. Now, they do draw another tough one here in Christopher Sanchez. That is for sure. We've actually backed him successfully, I may add, with an over on a K prop earlier this season. But 320 expected slugging, 287 xWOBA. I'm not going out of my way to quote-unquote pick on Christopher Sanchez. If I was forced to just take money line here, I'd probably be wanting plus 200 or so. Maybe it gets there and I double dip. But as it stands right now, -106, -108, DraftKings, FanDuel, wherever you are looking right now, I think you want to be getting the plus 1.5 because of Ryan Feltner's ability here. I think this is going to be a closer baseball game because Ryan Feltner's starting to show out as the ace that was promised once upon a time. Now, he's been in the majors for a while. This is by far the best that he has looked, but it's looked really good thus far. 34.9% hard hit, 26.5% K rate, 2.43 expected ERA. And I went through some of his pitch mixes just to double check my work and say, am I actually going to do this? No, I'm actually going to do this, friends, mainly because the four-seamer, if he can continue, friends, to be generating a little bit of whiff with this one, 30.4% whiff percentage on that, that is way up from 22.5%. And definitely the slider's been way better, even though the expected batting average just ever so slightly better. So I feel like Ryan Feltner is somebody that I want to back in some capacity. Probably not going to get the price I want against this Phillies lineup. Of course, there is major downside here, but considering the price, and that is really what it comes down to, it's price and probability. I like Colorado plus 1.5. Think this is worth a stab. A lot of you are going to hate that. I don't care. The Angels, the Rays, and Reed Detmers has been electric boogie woogie woogie. That is for sure. Kind of like the Ryan Feltner here of his baseball team at the moment. The Angels actually been just smashing the faces, the covers off of lefties here so far this season. Let me double check this because I'm pretty sure that they were number one in baseball. Yes, they sure are. 141 WRC plus. That doesn't really do us any good when they're facing Zach Littell. He's right-handed, so everything I just said doesn't really apply for that. So I'm not going to back Detmers in that capacity, that's for sure. And Littell's been good, 274 expected slugging, 23.4% K rate. And again, he is right-handed. That's not helpful for these right-handed bats in the Angels lineup. But my God, Reed Detmers, what are you even doing right now, bro? 40.6% K rate, 254 xWOBA, and yeah, southpaw here. Freaky-ish spot here against Tampa Bay, but 108 WRC plus with a 24.2% K rate. If you can avoid some of the hard contact, if you can avoid the damage menacing Tampa Bay lineup here at the top of it, you got some strikeouts available to you with a couple of these bats. And I think that's what we really want to be trying to highlight star center here. And I chickened out on Yusei Kikuchi. I didn't even say that on the forefront of this one, but everybody, I was talking about Yusei Kikuchi. I fired up that K ladder 2 games ago. But today, the game before this one. But today, chickened out on it. I'm a coward, the likes of which the world has never seen before. But I will not make that mistake with Reed Detmers. If we are seeing 7, 8, upwards of 9 Ks, might be looking at something there too. So lean like, because you want to be early to the party if there is actually this kind of upside on a couple of his pitches. Again, this four-seamer has been out of control. You combine that with the slider and the overlay for it, he's going to be unhittable. He's just not going to be hit. And it's a great pitcher's ballpark. You want to take some upside shots in spots like this before the numbers get too high later in the season. And wouldn't you know it, my pick here, I just got news that he left the game with left knee discomfort. Sounds like he's not playing baseball on Wednesday, so I'm going to give you another little option because Tyler O'Neill didn't end up in the lineup today. Rafael Devers, he was going to be your pick here in the corner, in pain and suffering. So let's talk through this one a little bit live here as I update some stuff for this lineup. Can I do that a little bit while I'm overlapping this? Is this good television or YouTube vision or whatever the fudge you want to call this? Why am I censoring myself this day? I love the fucking swear. Yeah, we're going to take Devers out. That's a little bit of a downgrade to this lineup, my friends, just ever so slightly. We're just talking about one of the best hitters in baseball from the left side over the course of the last however many years. We're replacing a 386 xWOBA, 528 expected slugging. And I have Valdez as somebody who can shift over. Pablo Reyes can shift over. Bobby Dahlbeck probably ends up out there. And we know that Boston hates Bobby Dahlbeck, but probably have to recall him if he's going to be sitting out here and maybe have him play third. I mean, if Reyes or Valdez can slide over, they'll probably prefer to go that way, but you know, it is what it is. Wow. Well, this looks like a decent enough spot here for Mr. Lively to actually get through this one unscathed. As for Tanner Houck, he had a really bad last outing, but overall has shown decent stuff here early in the season. And it's early in the season. I'm not going to overreact to a couple of starts. He had sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. But Tanner Houck, 2.6% walk rate. Yay. 47.2% hard hit. And then we can do kind of that same game that the Joaquin Phoenix from the Gladiator with Ben Lively. 36.2% hard hit. 474 expected slugging. It's going to fall somewhere in the middle here. So Rafael Devers to home run is listed down here, and I'm trying to find something for you here on the fly for my best available play. Hey, wouldn't you know it? Cleveland, plus money. Rafael Devers out of the lineup. That matters. Not getting really caught up here, so maybe we change that, producer Jacob. Are we able to do that after the fact? Oh, you're the best. So you can just change it and go, I'm going to make sure that he magically changes that. That's the only thing I'm going to go back and watch. I don't watch any of this anymore. But producer Jacob, go ahead. Tell the people what you want to do. Tell them. Come on the intercom.
I can do it live. Just wait. Buy time. Talk. Dance. Do something cool. Buy me time.
Buying time. Buying time. So there was one time.
Time bot.
Okay, it's a lean, but I'm going to bet this right now. I think you should too. Plus 124, that's going to change by tomorrow if Devers and O'Neill are not in that lineup. And that does it for another edition of Lindy's Leans, Likes, and Locks. You know what to do. Go to that comment section below. Let me know your favorite plays that exist here on the board for this lovely 16-gamer we have before us. There are going to be bets going all day in that premium Discord. Conversations happening, parlays getting fired, pick'em cards being put together. It's going to be an awesome time. If you want to join the party, sign up down below. Promo code Lindy, Lindy. That is me. Hi, hello, great to meet you. You sign up for that, $12 for your first week. That is less than $2 per day to just try it out. See if you like it. See if you like the community. See if you are profitable here in the course of that week. Again, MLB season is a long, long beast. My goal is to have you profitable and green in a big way by the end of the year, just like you were last year. And we will get there, friends, especially if, did Atlanta score in the top of that inning? Did they score? It's 2-0 in the 8th. Let's go. Come on, Atlanta. Never wanted to be 500 so bad in my life. I need another one. There wasn't a lock today. I didn't love anything yet. I don't know. I put 2 fingers up. Producer Jacob, thank you so much. We're going to talk a little NBA too. So check that out. NBA Lindy's fired up for the play-in tournament. Until next time, friends, I'm Eric Lindquist. Best of luck in the NBA streets here on, well, MLB streets. See, I caught myself. MLB streets on Wednesday.